Namaste. My name is George and welcome to this presentation of the Sanskrit alphabet. The Sanskrit alphabet is very easy to learn, and before I go into it further, let's just take a look at the word Sanskritam. Sanskritam means polished or complete. Of all languages, it is the most phonetically perfect language. All the sounds that are capable of being uttered through the human vocal cords and mouth are possible only through the study of Sanskritam. The Sanskritam language consists of 50 letters or aksharani. These can be differentiated into swaraha or vowels, vyanjanani or consonants, of which these can also be differentiated into antakstaha or semivowels and sibilants ushmanaha. And then we've got two ayogavaha, anuswaraha and visargaha. All of the sounds are grouped into 5 groups based upon mouth position. Now, in order to pronounce the Sanskrit language properly, you must know how to position the tongue and the mouth exactly. And 5 groups are identified. These are kantaha, or the guttural group, this section here. Talu, which is the palatal group. Murdaha, or the cerebral group. Dantaha, or the dental group. And Oshta, which is the labial group. So I'm just going to intone the sounds so that you can hear what they sound like. Remember also that all the sounds of the Sanskrit alphabet, including all other languages of course, come from Om, but only Sanskrit is the most complete language, most refined of all the languages. So we have Om, then A, I, R, L, U, E, O, I, A, Ka, Cha, Ta, Ta, Pa, Ka, Cha, Ta, Ta, Pa, Ga, Ja, Da, Da, Ba, G, Ba, Da, Da, Ba, Nga, Nya, Na, Na, Ma, Ya, Ra, La, Va, Ha, Sha, Sha, Sa, Aha. Right. So when it comes to the swaraha, and these swara, the first row here, are called the cardinal swaraha. A, I, R, L, U. These can also have a double measure pronunciation, or dirgha as it's called. A, I, R, L, R, R, U, U. You see? And then E, O, I, O. So these are the vowels. These are the consonants. Now, when you want to pronounce the consonants in the kantaha group, you need to keep the tongue quiescent in the lower palate, and the tip of the tongue touches up against the backs of the lower teeth. When you want to pronounce any of the letters in the talu group, then from the kantaha position, the back part of the tongue is elevated to come into contact with the back portion of the upper palate, but the tip of the tongue remains where it is. When you want to pronounce the letters in the Murda group, then from the Kantaha position, the tip of the tongue is taken toward the back part of the upper palate and connects with that point. When you want to pronounce anything in the Dantaha group, then the tip of the tongue flicks forward toward the front of the, toward the back part of the front the upper teeth, and then you've got Oshtal, where the sound is created by the unification of the two lips, labial. Alright. This rule, or these rules, are not applicable to the pronunciation of the vowels. Right. So the tip of the tongue will not touch up against any part of the teeth in the case of the intonation of the letter A. So A, without touching the tip of the tongue up against the teeth. E. E. So your the back part of your tongue will lift, but it will not connect entirely with the upper palate, the back part of the upper palate. So the tip of the tongue goes up toward the upper palate, back part of the upper palate, but does not touch with it as in the case of the Vyanjanani. It will flick forward gradually into the Danta position. And when you go into Dantaha position, the tip of the tongue will not touch up against the back of the upper teeth. And then, of course, Oshtal, the two lips join. In some cases, where the pronunciation of the va is concerned, we also say wa. Different approaches, different schools of thought say that when we say va, then the teeth are involved in the pronunciation of the sound, which is strictly speaking not a pure sound. In the case of wa, it is only the two lips that are involved and not the teeth. And in various ways, these rules can be combined, perhaps, but for the most part, it seems like the proper pronunciation is wa. So I hope you enjoyed this short explanation of the Sanskrit alphabet, and I really hope that you take up the study of Sanskrit. It is such a rich and rewarding language to study, and it also helps us to put the broader Oriental teachings such as yoga and Ayurveda and Jyotisha, etc., into their proper context. So thank you very much, and go well. Namaste.